Unique way. Take a look. The man was threatening police as he walked along the border of Spain and Morocco. You see officers steering clear of him. Suddenly, one picks up a plastic barrier and chucks it at the suspect. He was knocked to the ground. That's when the other officers jumped in and arrested him.
All right, well, suspected smugglers from Asia, they got pretty innovative here in their attempt to try and smuggle in some snakes.
Yeah, investigators say 3 live king cobras were mailed from Hong Kong in potato chip canisters. The highly venomous snakes were about 2 feet long. The package was sent to a man whose home was later searched by federal agents, and they found other protected animals there, including a baby crocodile in a water tank. The man has been arrested and charged with illegally importing merchandise into the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dangerous situation. I don't mean to make light of it, but that's unbelievable.
Just pack the 2 feet in a potato chip can.
All right. Moving on now to some newly released video. It shows the moment that 3 convicts break out of jail, then go on the run before finally being captured in California.
ABC's Kanya Whitworth is in Los Angeles with the details.
The Orange County jail escape that gripped the nation last year, now seen from a new point of view. The inmates themselves.
We scared the hell out of people.
3 men documenting their every move on a contraband cell phone as they escape from the maximum security wing. The video, part of the Orange County Sheriff's ongoing investigation.
As far as setup goes, well, we had a duffel bag and a backpack full of stuff.
Watch as Hossein Nayari, the alleged mastermind of the escape, lifts up a sawed-off bunk bed. Underneath, there's a metal screen, which has already been cut open. He disappears into the vent, crawling through plumbing pipes inside the jail walls. Then, a man who would soon find himself on America's Most Wanted list, stopping to give the camera a thumbs up. Finally reaching the prison roof, ABC was the first station to be let up. Authorities say the fugitives cut and moved aside that barbed wire, then anchored their ropes to the wall right there and rappelled down the building. Edited video released to Los Angeles station KNBC by an attorney affiliated with the case. It shows the trio some 400 miles away in Santa Cruz during their 8 days on the run.
Johnny here for the first time. Showed up to San Francisco.
Looking like tourists, posting photos at popular San Francisco hotspots.
Just trying to pass time.
Even taking pictures with the cab driver authorities say they kidnapped and threatened to kill. This morning, all 3 are back in jail and facing new charges for the daring escape.
Now on Good Morning Las Vegas.
Right now at 6, an unusual robbery causes panic near the Strip. Police say the robber's shopping spree was his downfall.
And the largest pet industry trade show is going on this week, and Parker Collins has some really interesting items to show that may help you in caring for your pet.
And we're coming off a wild day of weather. Cleanup underway after flash floods, but will there be a round 2? I think a lot of people are especially wondering that because it feels heavy or sticky outside right now.
Certainly the possibility of storms are sort of hanging around, but certainly not kind of what we saw like yesterday.
Yeah, and the flooding threat is going to be a lot lower. It's still very humid, so our isolated afternoon storms could have some heavy downpours, but they should also be moving a little more quickly than the storms have the last couple of days. So some encouraging news, but we'll still need to keep an eye on 13 First Alert Desert Doppler, especially after lunchtime when a stray shower or storm could spill into the valley. It is, hey, not all that mild outside. It's actually cooled off to the low 70s in Summerlin, 79 at McCarran, 76 Green Valley. But the humidity is still a very noticeable weather factor as you leave the house. It already feels muggy this morning. We'll push into the low 80s at 9 o'clock, close to 90 by noon. I do see an isolated afternoon storm chance for most of the valley, and then temperatures pushing into at least the mid 90s during the late afternoon. We'll forecast a high of 98 here in Las Vegas. That's 13 degrees hotter than it was yesterday. Desert Doppler dry now. It looks like around lunchtime storms start to fire up on the mountains to our west. Beth and Todd will take a look at Futurecast deeper into the afternoon and see when and where the storms could impact the valley.
All right, Justin, thank you. Well, right now the cleanup is on as crews work to try and get those roads cleared from yesterday's storms in time for the morning commute.
Yeah, we sent 13 Action News reporter Marissa Keniston out to Durango and Brent. That area was heavily hit yesterday. Marissa, how does it look today?
Yeah, we've been driving around all morning long. It does appear that some of the major concerns have been taken care of. But take a look. This is what you're going to want to look out for this morning as you head out the door. Just some runoff mud, some rocks, some debris that have been washed onto the roadway after yesterday's storms. Take a look at this video. This is what crews have been working to clear before your morning commute. You can see those floodwaters have washed some debris and rocks into the roadways. That was yesterday. And take another look at some of that flooding that we saw yesterday. Those are actual street signs and construction signs being carried away by the floodwaters. You can also see just how fast that water was moving. The most intense rainfall fell in the northwest part of the valley. That's where this video is from, and that's where we are right now. So your biggest concern as you head out the door and start that morning commute, mainly just the residential streets that you will see some runoff like what we're seeing out here this morning. Your major concerns, it appears those have been taken care of. Marissa Keniston, 13 Action News.
All right, thank you, Marissa. Things up in the northwest this morning look good for your morning commute, but we do have some crashes on the other side of the valley. NHP just reporting a crash on the 215 heading west right near Windmill. Here's a live look at what's going on. Everything is over on the shoulder, but there are a few emergency crews, a few troopers out there right now. Also, we are keeping an eye on northbound 95 right near Russell, right at the off-ramp. Emergency crews still out here. Of course, it's behind the bridge, so I can't really show you. It's only blocking one lane over by the shoulder, so it shouldn't slow you down either. I just want to warn you so you're not caught off guard. If you are hopping on the highway, even with those two problem spots, you're only going to see a slowdown on the 95 coming from the west side of town. 11 minutes to get to the Spaghetti Bowl right now, going 59 miles an hour.
Yasmin, thank you. This man right here is in custody this morning. Police say that he is the one behind a bank robbery, a carjacking, and also a hostage situation. It happened near the Strip yesterday. Now, the incident certainly caused a lot of panic. Police say they have now identified the suspect as William Etheridge. Now, we're told that he robbed multiple tellers at the West Star Credit Union there on Harmon near Koval. Well, Etheridge then forced one of the tellers out at gunpoint, and afterwards, police say that he forced his way into the car of a couple. Well, then once inside, he asked for a ride to a nearby Harley-Davidson shop. That's where he was arrested as he was shopping. Now, thankfully, no one was injured.
A man is in custody this morning after standing on the roof of what used to be a grocery store and waving a gun. Take a look. Officers had their guns drawn and they were in a standoff with this guy. It happened near Valley View in Sahara last night. Police say the man was acting erratically. That building, if you're familiar with that area, it did used to be a Food for Less, but it's vacant now. It took an hour and police were able to calm him down and get him to surrender. It's still not clear why the man was so upset.
This morning, the Senate right now is trying to come up with a plan to repeal and replace Obamacare.
They're gearing up for a long debate on the bill with the goal of coming up with a final version. Senators are expected to vote on whether or not to get rid of Obamacare today with no replacement.
We're not out here to spike the football. This is a long way, but we'll finish at the end of the week, hopefully.
You saw how difficult it was for them to even get a motion to proceed. Once they have to deal with substance, it gets even harder.
Well, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer also said that Democrats will use every resource to make sure that this bill doesn't pass. And Nevada Senator Dean Heller is among the Republicans who voted in favor of allowing a debate to go forward. He released a statement on Twitter saying that this move gives senators a chance to address the, quote, unworkable aspects of Obamacare. Senator Heller went on to say if the final bill isn't an improvement for Nevadans, he would not support it.
Happening today, the largest pet industry trade show is going on in Las Vegas this week. So we sent Parker Collins to the exhibit floor to look for pet care hacks.
Yeah, a lot of very cool products out there right now. Parker Collins is live for us at a dog park right near Alexander and Tenaya with more on this, Parker.
Todd, I had fun yesterday. I found a lot of interesting things, including this. This is called a Pistachio. It's a capsule that will open up, and inside you can put a liquid, powder, or probably a pill. I know a lot of us have had trouble trying to give our dogs medication. We've tried the cold cuts, we've tried peanut butter. None of that works. They promised me this is a healthy alternative that's a bit more effective than that. That's not all that I found. I also found the SureFlap pet feeder. It's your pet food's dish, but it will only open with their microchip. This makes sure no other greedy pets in the house are stealing food, plus it keeps odor in and flies out. They've also got a microchipped pet door, same concept, plus you can monitor when your pet comes and goes, and you can also set a curfew. Finally, one of my personal favorites, the Pet Cube. Now, they've got several models. Basically, it's an interactive Wi-Fi pet camera. You can watch as you give your pet treats or even let them chase a laser beam around the room that you control remotely from an iPad or tablet or something like that. One cool feature, you can live stream what your pet is doing.
I travel all over the world, and just pressing that button and knowing that my cat was okay, I would say, Leo, Leo, and he'd look up and then look down. That was enough.
A lot of stuff caught my eye yesterday. I found a few things that will help during these monsoon storms if you find yourself outside with your pet. I'll get into that later in the newscast. Reporting live, Parker Collins, 13 Action News.
We do love our pets.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would be interested in that Pet Cube. Everyone's always curious, right? About what your dog is doing when you're away from work.
Well, there you'll be able to see it. It's 6:07, everyone. Up next, marijuana growing near an elementary school. Parents in Pahrump are concerned, but it turns out the stuff is a little different from marijuana.
And outrage growing right now over what was found inside samples of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. The call to action that's underway this morning. Justin.
Ice cream news, you have my attention. This is lunchtime. A few storms popping up around Blue Diamond, Mount Charleston, over the mountains. As we slide toward 2, 3 in the afternoon, a chance some of those showers reach Summerlin down toward Mountain's Edge. We'll see what days look like the best monsoon storm chances in your 7-day planner.
And Top for 13 is up on this Wednesday morning, bringing you breaking news fast and first. We're over a crash right near Hawk Springs and Mesa Parks. You can see it looks pretty minor, but a portion of the intersection shut down. Recreational marijuana is becoming a booming business here in Nevada, but farmers are hoping another product will become a cash crop.
Industrial hemp has no THC in it. There's absolutely no effect at all to smoking it. It's not going to do you any good. You probably get a headache if you smoke it.
Many viewers in Pahrump reached out to us concerned because it's growing close to an elementary school, but the real difference is the amount of THC. Hemp doesn't have the THC content that provides a high. Mike Whalen with the Nevada Hemp Association says hemp is used for a variety of products and some medical treatments. Whalen says he's planning to get ahead of the concerns when it comes to the grow's proximity to the school. He even mentioned the possibility of educational field trips.
All right, some breaking news right now. The president is tweeting about transgender individuals in the military. He's saying that he will not allow them to serve in the military. This morning, sending out 3 tweets in a row within just minutes. He says, after consultation with my general and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. He ends with a thank you. Again, those just coming out within the last 10 minutes.
All right, Dana.
Dana, thank you. Time now is 6:12. Still to come, concerning information this morning about just how serious football head injuries are. The study has some daunting news for high school players.
And Beyonce fans up in arms over a wax figure of the pop singer. We're going to tell you why they're so angry.
Forecast off. Yeah, you hear the rain there. I'll start this forecast off with a look at the flash flooding that was happening about this time 24 hours ago. That video from Cindy up in parts of Centennial Hills. The Providence neighborhood was one of the hardest hit neighborhoods, and as Marissa Kinnison has shown us this morning, it's still dealing with some debris on some of the roads. The good news is that our monsoon tracker suggests that the chance of storms here in the valley just a hair lower today than it was yesterday. Better news, we're going to catch a break from some of the humidity and should be completely dry with no storms in the forecast Thursday or Friday. By Saturday, as the humidity returns, back to a low chance of pop-up storms, and we could finish off the weekend with some scattered downpours on Sunday. Medium chance of some monsoon storms on Sunday afternoon. Look at how beautiful the spring mountains appear off to the west side of the valley floor down here around 2,000–3,000 feet. The peaks of the mountains up close to 12,000 feet. Beautiful shot, but this higher terrain is what feeds the chance of pop-up thunderstorms by 11 or noontime over Mount Charleston. 98 today. It's going to be real hot versus yesterday. It was only in the mid-80s yesterday. Wasn't that a gift to have a day in the 80s in July? Well, it'll be much hotter today, and then we'll really sizzle Thursday into Friday as the humidity drops and we dry out. Thursday and Friday should be the hottest days we deal with this week. Upper 70s this morning. We'll climb into the upper 80s by 11 in the morning and pushing into at least the mid-90s during the afternoon with the mix of clouds and sun. The forecast 98 degrees here in Las Vegas. It looks like some of those pop-up storms over Mount Charleston, around Blue Diamond, could drift to the northeast into parts of the valley by 1 or 2 this afternoon. They'll be isolated. They'll be spotty. Many parts of the valley stay dry, but about a 30% chance of catching an early to mid-afternoon downpour for places like Summerlin, Centennial Hills. Can't rule that out for you down toward Mountain's Edge. Yasmin, a lot hotter as the dry weather pushes in Thursday, Friday, and then a better storm chance by the end of the weekend, Sunday into Monday.
All right, thank you, Justin. Right now, an update to the crash that we've been tracking pretty much all morning long up in the northeast part of the valley, Las Vegas Boulevard and Craig. That crash is cleared. Live Drive was out there. No issues now. But we are keeping a close eye on this crash westbound 215 right near Windmill. This is the view we've been showing you from our cameras on the ground. But now we have Chopper 13 over the area right now. And looks like we actually may have just left a few seconds ago. Everything is over on the shoulder, so you are not really going to see a slowdown. And if you are hopping on the highway, here's a look at your drive times. Just about 65 miles an hour all over the valley.
Yasmin, thank you. Well, Ben & Jerry's is coming under fire after a test uncovered a controversial ingredient in its ice cream. Well, traces of glyphosate, the main ingredient in weed killers, were found in samples of the ice cream. Now, the Organic Consumer Association made that discovery, and in a statement, the group said that Ben & Jerry's falsely advertises its products as natural. So they're now calling on the company to transition to 100% organic. Now, management at Ben & Jerry's says it is right now working to try and resolve the issue. And some scary findings on brain disease linked to football players.
Researchers have studied the brains of over 200 deceased players and found evidence of CTE in nearly every one of them. The disease can cause memory loss, aggression, and suicidal behavior. It's caused by repeated blows to the head.
Well, the study published in JAMA included the brains of former NFL, college, as well as high school players. Now, all but one NFL player met the criteria for CTE. Now, even more alarming, certainly for parents, is that nearly 1/4 of the 14 high school players in the study had the disease. Well, this study is the largest of its kind so far, certainly disturbing.
This morning, Beyonce fans are saying hold up to her wax figure at Madame Tussauds Museum in New York City.
Hold up, they don't love you like I love you. Slow down, they don't love you like I love you.
Photos of the wax replica have emerged, and fans are accusing the museum of whitewashing the pop star. Many feel the wax figure's complexion is too light-skinned and looks nothing like Beyonce. The statue was pulled from display for an emergency makeover, but the updated version is still getting a backlash. Madame Tussauds has responded blaming the lighting and flash photography. They went on to say they love and respect their relationship with Beyonce. Now to a touching moment on the baseball diamond at Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs. Cubs player Wilson Contreras surprised a 10-year-old Cubs fan with Down syndrome.
Yeah, it was all for the boy's birthday. This is pretty great here. Now, the two, they have a special bond here. They first met when Contreras visited him in the hospital last year, and he gave the boy a custom jersey, a helmet, and gloves. Then he added to the birthday celebration with this.
As Contreras hits a line shot deep to left. Gone!
Pretty cool moment. I think that was a 3-run shot there. The Cubs also got the win there over the White Sox 7-2.
All right, it's 6:20 on your Wednesday morning. Coming up, the president says Apple has big plans for the U.S. and it could mean thousands of jobs.
And here's that crash that we told you about, Chopper 13 over. This is the 215 in Windmill. Looks like that car is facing the wrong direction, but there is a trooper out there right now.
We are looking at dew points in the 60s. That's not great because that means the moment you step out the door, you're going to feel how humid the air still is. 67-degree dew point here in Las Vegas. That's like more typical Florida or the deep south than what we would normally anticipate here in southern Nevada. Now, it looks like temperatures will remain fairly comfortable for the next couple of hours, upper 70s, low 80s with a mix of clouds and sunshine. The good news, it's completely dry outside right now and should stay that way until at least lunchtime. Also, some good news, winds will be on the light side today. I will let you know who will get the hottest this afternoon because temperatures may run, Yasmin, about 15 degrees warmer versus where we were yesterday.
Oh, it was so nice yesterday, though. Thank you, Justin. Right now, Metro reporting a traffic issue right in the downtown area on Bonanza and D Street, seeing a slowdown in the westbound direction. So we do have Live Drive heading there right now to figure out exactly what's going on. Until we get out there, though, here's a look at your drive times if you're heading to the downtown area. Slowdowns from Boulder City, Centennial Hills, and Enterprise at head out the door.
Okay, thank you, Yasmin. The family of a younger American woman who mysteriously died at a Mexican resort is sharing their tragic story for the first time.
And ABC's Diane Macedo has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the family of 20-year-old Abby Connor is speaking out for the first time.
You know, it happens in an instant.
They're desperately trying to find out how their daughter and son ended up face down in a pool just 2 hours into their stay at a 5-star Mexican resort.
The bartender pours out a line of shots, and I take one, and everyone else does. And the last thing I remember was just like we are right now, sitting here talking, and lights went out, and I woke up in the ambulance.
The family says a guest found Austin and Abby in the resort's waist-deep pool. Austin had a concussion and a golf ball-sized lump on his head. Abby was brain dead, flown to a Florida hospital where she later died.
I hope she's at peace.
And coming up at 7:30 a.m., more of our exclusive interview. With your GMA First Look, I'm Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
That is heartbreaking and also frightening.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, Las Vegas. Certainly have a lot more coming up at 6:30, including a touching tribute for a fallen North Las Vegas detective. See how the lifelong Yankees fan was honored.
And no one likes getting caught in a downpour, but it can happen this time of year. So I've got stuff you need to see that will help you and your pet.
And Chopper 13 bringing you breaking news fast and first, up and at 'em on this Wednesday morning. We'll keep you posted coming up.
Now on Good Morning Las Vegas.
And right now at 6:30, a little girl trapped inside a house fire makes just a fantastic recovery. And this morning, life begins to return to normal.
Plus, monsoons and pets don't mix, but we have items to show you that could help any pet owner.
All right, but first, right now, cleanup is underway as crews right now work to try and get those roads cleared from yesterday's storms.
Yeah, I mean, the video was absolutely incredible, so we just had to send 13 Action News reporter Marissa Kiddiston back out to Durango and Brent to show us what it looks like right now.
Yeah, well, we've been driving around all morning long, checking out some of those problem spots for you as you head out the door. This is what you're going to want to look out for. Just some minor mud and debris left over from yesterday's storms that could cause just a little bit of a problem for you for that morning commute. Now, take a look at this video. Monsoons can often bring debris, especially near washes. That's because we didn't have a lot of rain for several weeks earlier this summer. The drain systems and the water washes, then filled up with trash and debris. That's what happens sometimes. And the rainwaters can wash all of that onto the roadways. That's what you're looking at right now. And let's take another look at some of that flooding that we saw yesterday. Those are actual street signs and construction signs being carried away by the floodwaters. Now, yesterday, as early as that storm was done, I actually saw crews out on the roads starting that cleanup process, and they've been working ever since then trying to get the roads cleared for your morning commute. Just be aware if you are in residential areas like where we are right now, you could see some of that minor runoff. Marissa Kennison, 13 Action News.
Marissa, the good news is that we are anticipating completely dry conditions this morning through the middle of the day here in the valley. The not so good news, it's going to be a lot hotter this afternoon than it was yesterday. We were in the mid 80s yesterday afternoon, almost 15 degrees hotter, up to 98 today, and it is still going to be noticeably humid. As you step out the door this morning, it's pretty muggy, even though our temperatures are decent. A lot of sunshine. We've got numbers in the mid to upper 70s right now, but the humidity is high, and temperatures as they glide into the mid 90s this afternoon, it's going to feel a lot warmer than yesterday. I promised to look at 13 First Alert Desert Doppler. We're dry through lunchtime, but it looks like over the mountains, by about 11 in the morning or noontime, storms will pop up. Yasmin, we'll talk about when a few of those storms could spill into the valley. I've got a first alert on monsoon storm chances next.
All right, thank you, Justin. Right now, we're still tracking that crash on the 215. If you're heading west right near Windmill, you are going to see it over on the shoulder, car facing the wrong way. Troopers are out here, but when the tow truck comes out here, it could slow things down. So that's why we're keeping an eye on it. The other crash on the 95 right near Russell, that crash is cleared. You are going to see some emergency crews, but everything is off away from the road, so no slowdowns here. If you are hopping on the highway heading to the Spaghetti Bowl this morning, just about 65 miles an hour all over the valley.
All right, thanks, Yasmin. Well, this just in this morning, North Korea is threatening to send a nuclear weapon into the heart of the United States over a comment about separating Kim Jong-un from his country's bombs. Well, it comes as U.S. leaders say that the UN is making progress on new sanctions for its intercontinental ballistic missile tests on July 4th. Well, this is video from that test, and Ambassador Nikki Haley says China and Russia are negotiating a proposal that the U.S. drafted and sent them several weeks ago. Last week, the CIA director, Mike Pompeo, suggested that separating the UN from weapons could defuse the nuclear standoff, and that comment likely prompted this latest threat.
A 13 Action News update this morning. The 4-year-old who was injured when her family's home caught fire last week is now out of the hospital. In this picture given to us, you can see just a big old smile on her face. She has some bandages on her arms, but her mother says she's happy to be home. That young girl was trapped in the house as it burned. We're told she locked herself in her room when a neighbor forced his way in to rescue her and her brother. She got frightened and did what a lot of kids would do, but she's okay, Todd.
Yeah, good to see it, Beth. Thank you. Well, this morning, the FAA right now is investigating an incident involving a plane that took off from Henderson Executive Airport yesterday. Chopper 13 fast and first over this scene. This right here, this is moments after the pilot of the single-engine plane declared an emergency and landed safely on a dry lake bed. Now, the FAA is saying that the plane was heading for Boise when the pilot reported some engine problems. We're told that pilot was able to work out that problem and the plane was able to take off again safely. Now, yesterday's incident really only comes just 24 hours after this fiery crash right near the Henderson Executive Airport. This one right here coming close to some homes that are in that area. Chopper 13 fast and first also over this charred wreckage. Witnesses say the single-engine training jet exploded on impact. Now, fortunately, the pilot managed to escape without being seriously injured.
This morning, U.S. leaders are defending Attorney General Jeff Sessions as President Trump keeps publicly criticizing him. The president says he's disappointed in Sessions. He also tweeted calling him weak on accusations against Hillary Clinton. Things have gone sour ever since Sessions recused himself from the Russia probe. Republicans say this is unnecessary and distracting.
I think the Attorney General is doing a fine job, and I think he made the right decision to recuse himself from the Russia matter.
And if there's any person on Capitol Hill that has been loyal to the President of the United States, it's Jeff Sessions.
President Trump has refused to say whether he will fire Sessions. The president made no mention of him during a rally in Ohio last night.
Yeah, and speaking of that rally, Beth, President Trump held a big campaign-style rally last night in Youngstown, Ohio. Now, he didn't talk about Sessions, but he did speak about to the crowd here for mostly an hour, mostly about his accomplishments so far in office. The president spoke about appearing presidential.
I can be more presidential than any president that's ever held this office. Tonight, I'm back in the center of the American heartland, far away from the Washington swamp, to spend time with thousands of true American patriots.
Well, security did haul at least one protester out of that rally at one point. Now, this was the president's sixth campaign-style rally since becoming president.
And new this morning, you probably have heard or seen this video here, and now Florida police are going to be recommending charges against a group of teens who taunted a drowning man and recorded the entire thing. In the 2-minute video, the 5 boys can be heard laughing as the man struggles in the water. Today, police are requesting that the state attorney's office charge those boys with misdemeanor counts of failure to report a death. Public outrage has mounted since the video's release. The 31-year-old man drowned back on July 9th, and Florida doesn't have laws that obligate a person to render aid or even call for help, which is why the teens have not been charged yet.
All right, unbelievable, Dana. Thank you. Well, we are now hearing from the family of a young teen killed in a crash in California. The driver was her own sister, and she streamed the entire thing live on social media.
Yeah, the family of Jacqueline Sanchez says she was an aspiring singer and basketball player. Sanchez died after she was thrown out of the car. It rolled on a highway. Highway Patrol says her 18-year-old sister was the driver, suspected of driving drunk while live streaming the ride on Instagram.
And I was really confused because I didn't know what happened. And then she sent me the video on Instagram.
Jacqueline's father says he hopes this will be an eye-opener for his other daughter, the older one who was driving the car. He says she was already heading down the wrong path.
All right, well, back here at home, a touching tribute for a fallen North Las Vegas police detective. Detective Chad Parquet was honored last night at a New York Yankees game.
Really sweet way to honor him. Take a look. The North Las Vegas Police Officers Association tweeted out these pictures of Detective Parquet's name on the big screen at Yankee Stadium. The organization says Detective Parquet was a lifelong Yankees fan. You may remember he was killed in a wrong-way crash back in January. The 32-year-old was a 10-year veteran of the North Las Vegas Police Department.
And former Las Vegas showgirl and wife of Frank Sinatra, Barbara Sinatra, is being remembered this morning.
She passed away yesterday in her home in California from natural causes. Sinatra first rose to fame in the 50s. She was married to the late Frank Sinatra for 22 years before he died in 1998. Together, the two founded a charity to help abused children. She was 90 years old.
And there was even more condolences for the late showgirl this morning, right, Dana?
Yeah, a lot of people talking about it. And the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center in California is mourning this morning the loss of the woman who they say helped children for years. They say that she was not just a name on the building. She always made sure that the nonprofit didn't go without.
She saw these, especially girls, whose heads were down, they had terrible low self-esteem, they were very traumatized, and she felt it was her job to help them get over that and live a normal life.
Well, she was 90 years old, and she did pass away surrounded by family and friends.
Thank you, Dana. Well, we love our pets here on Good Morning Las Vegas, and earlier we showed you the Super Zoo Trade Show.
Yeah, right now Parker Collins is back with some helpful stuff out there for pet owners, especially in this monsoon weather. Parker.
Todd, no one likes getting caught in a downpour, especially if you have your pet with you. These people are out early this morning while it's still dry to avoid doing just that. But if that does happen to you, here's some stuff you should look at. This is the Absorber. It's a towel you can dry your pet off with, but it's a little different. It works best when wet, so perfect for these wet conditions. You can shake off hair easily because there aren't any fibers on the surface of this. And in the summer, it has a dual purpose. You can wet it and use it to cool your pet off. If your wet dog has to get in the car with you, you might try these Stay-Jack seat covers. They've got great traction and stability even when wet, so your dog isn't falling down in the back seat. Plus, they soak up water, and you can wipe them right off. A lot of this stuff we're talking about was created by pet owners.
I made these in my garage. I made it for myself. Stage acts came from my dog, Jackson. We went hiking in the mountains every day for a while, and I was seeing him slide around.
If you need to squeeze in a walk but the skies are cloudy, this waterproof leash might be a good idea and won't carry that wet dog stink you get with some of those cloth leashes, I should say. It also is easy to wipe down. Now, we're working to post all the information for these products on our website, ktnv.com. Reporting live, Parker Collins, 13 Action News.
All right, Parker, thank you. A lot of good products there. All right, time now is 6:40. Coming up next, the nominations are out for the MTV Video Music Awards.
No surprise, Bruno Mars has the nominations, including one for Video of the Year for this video, shot here in Vegas, baby. We'll show you who has the most nominations.
Dry weather here in the valley this morning. That should last until lunchtime. A couple of storms firing up near Mount Charleston. A lot of humidity, plenty of heat today. Can't rule out a heavy downpour in parts of the valley during the early afternoon. I'll let you know when storms are more likely in your 7-day planner.
6:44, welcome back. An update to the traffic issue Metro was reporting in the downtown area right near Bonanza and D Street. That has cleared up. We know that thanks to Live Drive. Just went out to the area, no issue. So now Live Drive is just driving through the downtown area. But listen, if you are going downtown right now, we're seeing a slowdown from Boulder City taking the 95, 37 minutes. And if you're coming from Enterprise, taking the 16 minutes to get downtown right now. Here's a live look out at the Spaghetti Bowl, since this is the busiest place in the entire state of Nevada. But your drive times look pretty good if you're going through the resort corridor. 9 minutes heading south, 7 minutes heading north.
Yasmin, thank you. New this morning, a Lyft driver in Illinois is shaken up after she says that she was shot at when she arrived at home for a scheduled pickup.
He just came out, with an attitude and was like, "You need to cancel the ride." And I was like, "Oh, you can cancel the ride." He comes out with a gun and starts shooting, and he fired at least 5 shots.
Well, that woman, too afraid to go on camera. Now, she says that she immediately took off after that shooting and called 911. Apparently, this man was upset because the driver demanded that he pay a cancellation fee. Well, the man told police that he felt threatened by the woman and admitted to actually firing a round into the ground to get her to leave. Well, fortunately, no one was injured. Boy, oh boy. All right, well, this morning we are now hearing from a former Dallas Cowboys football player who was falsely accused in a theft case.
Yeah, police in Virginia admit Lucky Whitehead was the wrong guy. The 25-year-old receiver says he didn't even know about the charges until journalists approached him as he walked off the practice field Monday.
I got thrown to the wolves. When I heard it stealing from a convenience store, it threw me off. What I need to steal for it.
Well, after the news broke, police issued a warrant for his arrest, and then the Cowboys, well, they cut him. But investigators then later revealed that the suspect was not Whitehead, but rather someone who was posing as him and also using his personal information. But Dallas Cowboys coach Jason Garrett insists that the decision to cut him actually stems from previous behavior. Whitehead says right now he's just trying to focus on getting back on the field wherever he could find a job.
You can make your living room wall great again. A sketch of the New York City skyline drawn by Donald Trump is going up for auction tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. The artwork here was done by Mr. Trump back in 2005. Okay, in the center there, you see this sketch is of Trump Tower. The picture also includes the president's autograph done with a gold marker. Now, the opening bid set for some $9,000.
It's not the only Trump drawing up for bid. Another auctioneer is offering another Trump skyline created for a different charity event. The auction manager says it's not bad. The auction ends tomorrow night.
All right, Apple factories are coming to the United States. President Trump told the Wall Street Journal the tech company will build 3 plants right here in the U.S. Now, he didn't say where or when, and Apple has not commented on this, but Apple only owns right now 1 factory, and it's in Ireland, and it outsources most of its other manufacturing to China.
Hey, take a look at this cool new invention. Engineers at Stanford University and the University of California have created a worm-like robot that can grow 25,000 times its size. Researchers say this could be used for helping with search and rescue efforts or maybe medical devices. A number of prototypes have been built and more work needs to be done with the robot. But anyway, it's pretty cool to look at, isn't it?
Well, this just in this morning, Amazon is filling about 50,000 positions next week. Yeah, that's a lot. The tech giant is hosting this big job fair. Well, the company is calling the event Amazon Jobs Day and plans to hold at career centers across the country. So there's not going to be one here in the Valley, but the company does have openings here in Las Vegas. We just checked their website. They're hiring for like senior HR assistant. They're looking for a yard specialist, administrative assistants, also safety specialists. So you can check out the Las Vegas jobs on their website.
All right, good news there, Dana. Thank you.
Have you noticed any changes on the Strip lately? Construction crews are working to finish up the bottom 3 full floors on the Fontainebleau.
Yeah, Clark County Commissioner Steve Sisoleka snapped this picture yesterday. Well, this is actually a Chopper 13 here. Now, you may recall Clark County officials approved the permit for this wrap. The resort was left incomplete after the original owner filed for bankruptcy. It's estimated that it would cost them more than $1 billion to finish the resort.
The 2017 MTV Video Music Award nominations are out. Rapper Kendrick Lamar leads the list with 8.
Hey, I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances.
All right, and right behind Lamar's 8 nominations are Katy Perry and The Weeknd, both tied with 5 nods apiece. And new this year at the VMAs, no more gender split here. Best Female Video and Best Male Video will be combined and replaced with Artist of the Year. The VMAs are live from Inglewood, California on Sunday, August 27th.
Okay, let's get over to Justin now for a look at your forecast.
Quite a difference from 24 hours ago, Beth. We are completely dry all around the valley. Should stay dry until about lunchtime. Small storm chance with us this afternoon. We'll call it a low one. Thursday, Friday, completely dry, lower humidity, but much more significant heat to finish off the work week. Saturday and particularly Sunday, the monsoon moisture comes back, and that'll feed a low storm chance Saturday afternoon, medium chance of some passing downpours on Sunday as we round out your weekend. A lot of sunshine outside on our Valley View camera. Temperatures not bad. It's actually in the mid and upper 70s all around the valley. One of our cooler spots, Centennial Hills at 75, where of course parts of Centennial Hills had 1.5 inches of rain about 23 hours ago and it caused some flash flooding. We've got another storm chance in Centennial Hills, but not until after lunchtime. So we'll climb from 79 now up to 82 at 9 in the morning, 91 during the early afternoon. Temperatures at least as hot as the mid 90s, and I think with some peaks of sunshine through the clouds morning, midday, and afternoon, we're back up to 98. That's 13 degrees hotter than it was in Las Vegas yesterday afternoon, and with the humidity, it's going to feel pretty steamy out there. Some sunshine now, that'll give us that quick temperature boost this morning. We'll push through the 80s and into the upper 90s this afternoon. And check out Thursday into Friday, temperatures back above 100 to finish out the work week Thursday and Friday. We're dry now, we'll stay dry through lunchtime. Like I mentioned though, a couple of pop-up storms over the Spring Mountains by lunchtime. 1 or 2 of those could drift into the valley, places like Mountains Edge, Summerlin, Centennial Hills, and over toward Boulder City. You'd have slightly higher storm chances than the rest of us, but even here in Las Vegas close to the Strip, passing early to mid-afternoon showers possible. Dry and hotter Thursday, Friday. Looks like we could finish off the weekend Sunday, Dana, with a couple more downpours, and they'll linger into Monday.
All right, we are following a lot of breaking news, including some tweets out by the president this morning, and it talks about whether he's going to allow transgender individuals in the military. I'll update you on that right after the break.